there's an old Chinese saying that every successful man stands a terrific woman. I'm not going to ask you who that woman is. But I want to ask you, do you want to say something to her openly?
Openly? I say the same thing to her every day. Love you, honey. I look like a kid when in a room of adults, and so I just went up to her, and I noticed this beautiful girl in the class.
Listen.
And I went up to her, and I used my superpowers.
Superpower.
I just told her, "Would you like to see my homework?" Because those are my superpowers. And so I also told her that I don't know what grades you have, probably very good. However, if you study with me every Sunday, I promise you'll get straight A's. And so I had a date every Sunday.
Oh, recently your watch is becoming very popular.
I don't know.
You don't know. Where's your watch?
I don't wear a watch.
But on the news, is that fake news?
Yeah, it's fake news.
He really confused me. Is that watch news a fake news?
It's probably a fake watch.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the superstar of the AI industry and the leader of Team Taiwan.
Go Team Taiwan! 大家好.
I don't have to introduce him anymore, right?
I still love being introduced.
Jensen, I know you have a very busy schedule. Your keynote
I honestly have nothing else
terrific
to do.
Yesterday. Yeah.
Thank you.
I remember the last time we had our HTD 23 together, we rode in with a Beauty and the Beast SUV. Do you remember?
Beauty and the Beast.
The car.
Oh, okay.
The car. In that car, I have to give you, let you know a good news about it. Has been chosen by Mitsubishi to become their car.
Wow.
And that car will be running on the road roughly about a year from now.
Okay.
With the luck you bring.
That's awesome.
And in the second half of the keynote, what I would like to do is to ask you questions and let you answer.
Okay.
So
it doesn't matter what you ask. My answer is always the same.
I hope I'll ask. Actually, I collect a lot of questions from the industries and from people who care about you, and compile them into 3 categories of questions. Right. Number 1 is business-related. Do you want me to start with the business-related stuff?
If we start with business-related, I will go so long, and then we'll end with just business-related. So let's start with business-related. I'm afraid to hear about the other two.
I'll keep him under control. Okay. But it's not the question that you thought about the business. It's not about nvidia chips or system business. It's about the Team Taiwan, the very first question. What is Team Taiwan from your point of view?
Well, Taiwan is where our most important partners are. We've been coming here for 30 years.
Yeah.
And somebody did a count. We have 350 partners here.
350?
350.
Wow.
Of course, I don't know them all, but apparently, either directly or indirectly, we work with some 350 companies. And you know that the technology supply chain is incredibly deep here.
Right.
And it's much more complicated than people think. I made a movie the other day that I showed yesterday, and it just shows the breadth and the depth of technology that is here in Taiwan. And so, as a computing company, this is the epicenter of the world's computing industry. This is where it starts. And everything from the chips, of course, to the systems, and now increasingly, the pioneering work that is being done in the automation of robotic factories and building robots. You know very well, this is one of the largest electronic manufacturing regions in the world.
Yes.
And not only is it the largest, it's the most advanced. And the things that we build here are incredibly complicated. Now, you and I were talking about building GB200 servers. It has 1.2 million components. It weighs almost 2 pounds, completely liquid cooled. Each rack is a couple, $2-3 million.
So all these numbers.
And
remembers.
Yeah, and so they're not that hard numbers. And just so you know, I rounded them all. It's 1.8 tons. It's 1.12 million parts. Yeah, so I rounded it up for your benefit. So anyways, the technology is incredibly complicated. In order to build one of those Grace Blackwell racks, how many companies were involved and how much robotics technology is actually involved. So if you look at the work that we've done. In the last 2 years since you and I were on stage together, starting to talk about AI and robotics, since then, Foxconn is using NVIDIA Metropolis for smart cities, NVIDIA Metropolis for smart factories, NVIDIA Isaac Groot for robotics, NVIDIA Drive for autonomous vehicles, NVIDIA Omniverse as the digital twin operating system for all of that. And yesterday we announced that we're going to build an AI factory for you to use, for me to use, and for Taiwan, the entire ecosystem to use.
Yes, yeah.
And so now Foxconn is going to be a world-class regional cloud provider, AI cloud provider. And so look at the breadth of work that we do together now. It covers literally every, not to mention for manufacturing inspection agents with computer vision and vision understanding. And so everything from agents to robots to, robots with wheels, robots that are orchestrating robots to build robots, And so this is.
I've seen that.
This is
robots building robots.
Yeah, this is
in person.
This is literally Foxconn. This is Foxconn. One of the most advanced technology companies in the world. You just happen to apply technology to manufacturing. We apply technology for technology's sake. You apply the technology to apply for manufacturing. And so it can't. We shouldn't be surprised, but everybody should be deeply impressed by the technology of Foxconn.
Thank you very much. And
so did you notice? I just want to demonstrate something. It didn't matter what he asked.
No, I asked only one question, and that question. That's where it is.
Go ahead and ask me about my jacket.
No.
No, I just want to demonstrate something.
Okay. I'm not going to ask about jacket. Okay.
No, I just want to demonstrate. It doesn't matter what you ask.
You answer the same thing. Okay. I see.
Because from there, I was going to talk about Omniverse and robotics.
Great salesperson. Anyway, my next question is: have you heard about Teima?
From who?
TEEMA. It's an association, Taiwan Electronics and Electrical Manufacturers Association.
Did I do something wrong?
No. Oh, there's something he doesn't know. I was just made the chairman of Teima. Teima.
Well, congratulations.
Okay. Teima.
Congratulations. Did you do something wrong?
I hope no. But anyway, it's the largest association in Taiwan with more than 3,000 members and accounts for over 50% of export value of Taiwan. Okay, aggregate number of workers in Taiwan.
I thought Foxconn represented 40% of export.
Well,
37%.
No, because our business model we're worldwide, so the revenue counted in Taiwan is only about half.
Okay.
So Teima is the association. I think most of the members are, most of your suppliers are members of Teima. Okay. With this rapid changing AI industry, what advices do you have for your suppliers in the Teima, as a Teima member? Any advices for them?
Yeah, I do. It'll come to me in just a second. But I'm just going to have to start. I do. So let me make an observation. In fact, vast majority of the industries, the companies focused on industries, has largely been left behind during the software revolution. And the reason for that is because you're obviously industrial because you understand mechatronics. You understand mechanicals, you understand chemicals, you understand the deep physics part, the sciences part of industry. That industry was formed out of the last industrial revolution. And Taiwan is excellent in those industries. But when software came, it was a brand new skill, and those skills were quite unusual and quite unnatural for these companies. Number one. Number two, first observation. The second observation is that when AI started 10 years ago, it was very interesting, but not very useful. Not very useful for the industrial companies. And the reason for that is because the AI understands English, but it doesn't understand physics, which is what you need. Everything that you do needs physical understanding, physical intelligence. When I roll a ball underneath a car, my dog knows to either go underneath the car or go around the car. But the AI thinks the ball has disappeared out of this universe. And so we need to have physical common sense. Now we're developing both of those things. Now, why is AI so great? The reason for that is because you teach an AI, you don't have to program an AI. Software programming skills is no longer as vital as it was before. You have an opportunity to leap the software chasm and go directly to AI. In fact, I can prove it to you. Everybody is a software programmer now. The definition of a software programmer is somebody who programs a computer to do something.
Right.
That's a software programmer. Give me an example of somebody who can't tell ChatGPT to do something. And if you don't know how to even tell ChatGPT to do something, you say, ChatGPT, teach me how to teach you how to do something.
Yeah.
Isn't that right? And ChatGPT writes a very nice prompt and says, try this. And I say, okay. Isn't that right? Incredible. So this computer is now intelligent. And intelligent systems are easier to use. And now you have an intelligent system that's easier to use. It understands the laws of physics. We combine all of that into Omniverse. See how I came back again? It came all the way back into Omniverse, which you are using as a digital twin. Yes. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And within the digital twin, you could design your plants, you could operate your plants, you could simulate your plants, and plan everything before you operate it greenfield or brownfield.
Exactly.
Isn't that right? And so all of a sudden, every company in Teima is now a technology company.
And has to be, right? Has to be a technology company.
It doesn't matter what you ask me.
Okay. If I switch to ask
one-track mind.
Personal related questions.
It's going to come right back to Teima.
Okay. I think for Teima, I think they heard it, and they will have to keep up with the AI and transform themselves to have more and more software capabilities.
Yeah.
Right?
And in fact, look, every company needs to do what Foxconn did. When you and I first talked about AI, you didn't talk about AI and read about AI and kept thinking about AI. You just started working on AI. Just get to it. of course, the technology 2 years ago is not as advanced as it is today.
Right. Right.
But you knew that. You knew that it was going to get better. You knew that technology was going to get better. Of course it does. It's getting better at 1,000,000 times every 10 years. 1,000,000 times every 10 years is like changing every day. And it is. AI is changing every single day. And so, but you engage it today with an expectation that these challenges that you're experiencing are going to get solved almost by itself. But you've got to get engaged right away. Everybody has to develop a system. We have a system available to you. You bring it to your company, and Foxconn and I will build it for you. All the software is available for you. We're already integrated into all of your software developers, whether it's Cadence or Siemens or right, Dassault or Autodesk or whoever it is. We're already working with all of your software developers. Omniverse is integrated into all of that. Nemo is integrated into all of that. And so you could start trying AI. And it's amazing what you've produced in just the last couple of years. The demos you showed me, your factories are basically complete digital twins, and they look so real.
Yes.
They look so real. Robots working inside it, incredible.
So in the past, we have physical factories. Then we use Omniverse to create digital twins.
That's right.
And then we realize we need AI factories to support both of them.
That's right.
To make it more and more powerful. And all these changes evolve so fast. And the reason why it's evolving so fast is all because that man, you, created chips running so fast and advancing so fast every year. And my next question for you, do you see any limit in terms of hardware speed, for the AI?
Remember, Moore's Law ended. Moore's Law ended because we're at the limits of physics. And so the cost of the transistor is going up, as it should. The energy efficiency of the transistors and the processors are not going up very fast, understandably. And so we have to try different skills and different techniques. And so we're developing multi-chip packages, 3D packages, one way to do that. The other way to do that, of course, is this incredible invention called NVLink, where we connect all of these chips together into one giant chip. The size of the wafer is probably, like this. And so all of these chips are working together as one. We used advanced mechanical systems and liquid cooling systems to compress the systems into one giant rack. But very importantly, software. Our architecture and the algorithms that we're developing on top of it allows us to reformulate the AI models, reformulate how the work is distributed across these supercomputers. The networking, of course, is a big challenge and a big opportunity. Instead of passing information back and forth, we could do in-network, in-fabric reduction. And so, we all send our answer together for us to combine all the answers. But why don't we just send it to the network? The network combines the answers and already sends it back to us, so we don't have to receive it. So we reduce the amount of traffic like practically in half. And so all of these clever ideas combined has allowed us to improve AI performance tremendously. People say it's about, 2x every 6 months. I actually think it's probably working faster than 2x every 6 months at this point. It's probably like 2x every 3 months. The combination of all these things, I call it full stack, but basically you're innovating chips, innovating systems, innovating at the data center, innovating the operating system of the data center, and innovating the model all at the same time.
So from what you see so far, only the sky is the limit. Looks like it.
Only the sky's the limit. And this is the really amazing thing, Young. So there's the computer industry that was created. And remember, the first time I realized this was going to be an industry, that the computer industry was going to be, was when Bill Gates, in one of his interviews, and he was so young. It was 1984, maybe 1985. I heard an interview where he said that Microsoft is not a maker of word processors or spreadsheets. It's a manufacturer of software. And at the time I heard it's a manufacturer of software. What does that mean? Software is so easy to manufacture. You write one copy, and the rest of it is duplicated, okay? And the rest of it is free. And so how would you create an industry where everything that you produce is free? Well, of course, he invented licensing.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize what he had in mind was a whole bunch of lawyers. But more importantly, what he meant was there's a methodology, there's a production methodology associated with software, and look at all the software they produce today. It was a visionary idea, and now it's $1 trillion industry. Well, our industry, remember, AI is a great technology, but AI is also an industry in itself. Just as software, you got spreadsheets and word processing, but collectively, software is an industry in itself. AI is going to be an industry. However, the AI is going to be produced by factories. And so now you just have to think, how large is the automation, agents and robots industries that we'll support? And every one of those agents and robots will need factories to produce the tokens for them at all times. I think that we've unquestionably discovered, invented, created a new multi-trillion-dollar industry, which is the reason why everybody's so excited about it.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so the time is running short.
I'm trying.
I have so many other questions.
As much as I can to exhaust all of the time.
Thank you. Then I'm gonna skip some of the technology-related questions. I'm gonna go to the personal questions. I hope you will not be offended. Okay?
Let's take a technology question.
In China,
everybody knows all my favorite restaurants in Taiwan anyway.
No, it's not that.
Everybody knows where I'm going to be this afternoon.
It's not that. There's an old Chinese saying that every successful man stands a terrific woman. I'm not going to ask you who that woman is. But I want to ask you, do you...
I hope it's the same one I have in mind.
So, do you want to say something to her? Openly?
Openly? I say the same thing to her every day. Love you, honey. And so anyways, I met her when I was 17 years old, and she had just turned 19. And so I dated an older woman for most of my life.
What part of the States you met her?
Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah, we were lab partners in electrical engineering.
Oh, lab partner.
Okay, so imagine the odds. Imagine how smart you have to be to achieve this, okay? So there are 250 students in electrical engineering fundamentals. There were only 3 girls. I was also statistically impossible. Not only that, it is very clear who's the youngest person in class. I was 128 pounds going to college.
Oh.
I graduated at 132 pounds or something like that. Okay? I was 128 pounds. And so I looked like a kid when in a room of adults. And so I just went up to her, and I noticed this beautiful girl in the class.
Listen.
And I went up to her, and I used my superpowers.
Superpower?
Because
I
knew, just looking at the audience, who everybody knows what my skills are. And so I just told her, would you like to see my homework? Because those are my superpowers.
The homework.
Everybody has superpowers. And so I also told her that I don't know what grades you have, probably very good. However, if you study with me every Sunday, I promise you'll get straight A's.
Every Sunday.
And so I had a date every Sunday.
Oh, I see.
Very smart.
Yes. Yeah. That tells us the reason why he is so successful starts from age 17. Okay, not just now. Okay, my last question for you is that everybody is curious about your jacket, but I'm not. Recently your watch is becoming very popular.
I don't know.
You don't know. Where's your watch?
I don't wear a watch.
But on the news, is that fake news?
Yeah, it's fake news.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a fake news.
Yeah.
Then I had to tell my wife,
Yeah, it was
that's a fake news. I'm not going to buy you a watch at that price. Okay, that's a fake news.
That's it? No, that's fake news. I don't wear a watch.
I see no watch.
I don't care about the time. Right now is all that I would care about. That's why I don't wear a watch. I'm 100% right here.
Okay. He really confused me. Is that watch news a fake news?
It's probably a fake watch.
Okay, thank you very much. We're very happy to have you here, and through the conversation, we know the other side of Jensen, and hopefully it will help you, to know Jensen more besides his chips and his success in his business.
Well, my chips are pretty good. and don't let me. But if I could say, Young, I am delighted by our partnership. Obviously, we're manufacturing the most advanced computers the world's ever seen and ever known. And during our meeting yesterday, one of your leaders said, no one has ever manufactured systems this complicated. But very importantly, no one has ever manufactured supercomputers at this rate.
Yes.
Most of the time, you plan a supercomputer for 3 years, and you build one. We're cranking it out every hour. And so the idea that we're doing this at the scale that we're talking about is extraordinary. But that's the work that we do together for my benefit. The thing that I'm really excited is that you then use this incredible AI technology to revolutionize, transform Foxconn.
Yes.
And also to make it available for all of the Taiwan researchers and students and other startups and all the industries. I think it's a great example that you're showing. It's great that you're revolutionizing your own company with technology. You were an amazing technology company already before. Now you're an extraordinary technology company. And then everything that you do for Taiwan. So I'm very, very grateful.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jensen.
Right.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
谢谢。拜拜。